Okay, welcome back. It's the Family and Values, and our topic this morning is compatibility in partnership. Compatibility in partnership. Our guest is on standby right now. We have Joy. Okay, Nwokoro. She's a marriage and relationship coach, and she's joining us live here from Lagos. Okay, Joy. Good morning. Hello, Joy. Good morning.
Yes, I
So
can
good
hear
to
you. Can
have
you
you.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay.
So, Joy, what do you understand by partnership and compatibility? Can you just break it down for
Okay, thank
us?
you very much. Yeah. So, in very simple terms, because many times when people hear about compatibility, they tend to want to shut down, thinking it's some highfalutin word that has no unending definition and all. So, in very simple terms, compatibility has to do with your core values and traits with the person. So the ability for you and the person to agree at nearly every level of life, is what compatibility is about. So this means that there's a science, of compatibility. There's an art of compatibility. Science being the knowledge of it, knowing that okay, two people have to be in agreement to come together to do marriage. Two people have to agree at certain levels, to be able to allow their marriage to thrive or their relationship to thrive. Then the art of compatibility has to do with the application, of compatibility in itself in every relationship, so that there will be harmony, there will be peace, and ultimately those in that relationship or marriage can find fulfillment.
That Joy.
How do we know we are compatible with our spouses, with our partners? How do we know? Yes, some people would get into the marriage before they realize, but for those who are still in courtship, how do they know that truly the person they are with they are going to be compatible together? Are there steps they could use to check these things?
Okay, so like I said earlier, we said compatibility has to do with your core values and traits being in harmony. So your value system, what um, a couple, for instance, what Mr. A sees as his value system, more like things he accepts to be a way of life, things that hold sway in his life, needs to be similar to what his wife, Mrs. B, or Mrs. A, holds also in high esteem. So take for instance your values. Some persons maybe in a marriage or in a relationship, a man may say, I don't like the idea of not decently dressed, for instance, and then he meets a lady who doesn't see any issue or any problem with not dressing decently. Now, at that value level, we can easily measure that two of them might have issues in future in that relationship. Because the man is saying, typically, my person is, I like you all covered up. And the lady is saying, typically, I don't mind, flaunting myself. Or it can be, the other way around. There are vices or there are things that a man may think is a normal way of life. And so when he meets a woman, the woman says, me, I think, it's a no-no for me. It's more like a red flag. It will be an issue for us in a relationship. So knowing how to measure it, or simple things as this, can actually bring an issue. There's also the level where you measure maybe spirituality, for instance. The man may say, okay, I don't mind marrying somebody outside my religion. And then the woman he's meeting is saying everything about marrying outside my religion matters to me. So at that level, they can have a spirituality incompatibility. And this also boils down or trickles down even to financial matters, even to life goals. Your life goals not being in perfect synchronization. So a man may say, my life goals in the next 10 years is to build, for instance, hotels. hotels around the world where we'll have clubs, and you meet a lady who is saying, my own life goals is to go around the world doing philanthropy. I want to be known as a renowned philanthropist. I will go to this war-torn areas. I will go to Syria. I will go to Ukraine to give relief materials. So you would find out that two people like that, when they come together, they will have an issue because the man, his eyes are on building hotels everywhere. I want to build, or it can even be the reverse. The woman saying, like, I want to be known as maybe a model. I want to be known as the best runway model. And the man is saying, my own vision is to become, a bank owner in future. I want to own a bank and have my wife be a career woman beside me. So as little as all of these things might sound, it can actually bring about incompatibility.
Okay, I want to find out, Joy, is it possible if you have couples that are not compatible, is there any slim chance that they can still work out things, as in the relationship can still work?
Beautiful question. So, compatibility is something you try to measure even before you get into your relationship or marriage. It's highly important. So, it means compatibility is one of the number one criteria or yardstick you've got to look out for when you're looking to, get married to somebody. So, it's the foundation, it's the bedrock. The Bible says, if I may, two cannot work together except they agree. Yes, we understand that no human being is 100% compatible with the other person, but at least they have to agree at the cause about life, at the core level of life. So, coming to your question, if a man and a woman who aren't compatible get into marriage, their problems will get magnified because, in the real sense of the word, marriage magnifies everything we are and are about. So if you're a good person, when you go into marriage magnifies it. If you've got certain weaknesses, when you go into marriage magnifies it. So if you go into marriage not compatible with your partner, I mean, you've got to prepare for quote and unquote war because there will be frictions. And even with marriages where you have spouses compatible, there are issues. How much more a marriage where there is no compatibility? So when couples go into marriage with the hope that, okay, we're not compatible, when we go in, we might be compatible, that might be a recipe, for disaster because it will definitely bring about chaos, issues that probably two of them may not, really bargain for.
Okay, Joy, let me ask you this. Let's assume two couple planning to get married. In the course of courtship, they discover they are compatible and they've aligned their goals together, and then they feel, okay, now we are compatible, let's go into marriage. And years down the line in marriage, they are still on that track of compatibility, but towards the old age, you realize that one person is coming up with issues differently from what they've always had. At that point, what would you say? Would you say there was a friction, or are there factors that would have warranted another person to suddenly move from the road of compatibility with the partner?
Okay, so I must say this, it's very important. Once compatible is not always compatible. I'll take that again. Once a couple find out they're compatible and they move into marriage, does not guarantee that they will continue to be compatible. So compatibility is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't arrive at compatibility. You continue to push into compatibility. So when you have a couple who were initially compatible, going into marriage, and they now have found that, okay, towards their maybe getting old, they kind of are falling out with each other, and it means at some point work was not taken seriously. So marriage is work. It's a continuous thing. You don't say because I am compatible with my spouse, I have to stop doing some things that will enhance our compatibility. So, like I said earlier, you can't, it's something you have to continue to work on, to build on. Even in the workplace, you can't say because you have maybe a skills in maybe accounting, for instance, and you have this very big thing going on with you about accounting, then you stop learning, then you stop developing yourself. When you do that, what happens is that you will be there and you would kind of find out that some persons or the people who are actively developing themselves, even in that area, might surpass you. So, in the same vein, in marriage, compatibility is not an arrival. You don't arrive at it and stop doing what you were doing. You keep at it, you keep pushing. It's like a marathon, it's like a slow and steady wins the race kind of system. When couples find themselves in marriage compatible, in fact, it will shock you to know that there are couples who have gone ahead to divorce themselves even after years of having said, okay, we are compatible. You are meant for me, I'm meant for you. So the question now remains, what happened along the way?
What
You
happened?
know, what happened to this compatibility? So what happened probably was that some persons became laid back, not doing the things they needed to do to enhance that relationship.
Okay, Joy, I want to find out, is it possible for a particular spouse to lie to the other, all in the name of compatibility? Because apart from being laid back, there are relationships you get into and you later find out that this person was just playing along.
Lies.
You know, before you say anything, say, yeah, play along and played along, and you were like carried away. You were not even seeing between the lines. Okay, it was so perfectly done that after marriage, you now tend to like, yeah, I was just playing along with you. You think, so is it possible you try to put it on a weak foundation, as in lie, just to show that you are compatible with a particular person because of the benefits, or I don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. I do. So it's very much possible for a person to lie and put up a front with the other person, letting them kind of know, or to come across as one who might be compatible with them. And this is where being emotionally intelligent to detect red flags come to play. When a person goes into a relationship without pretense to be compatible with a person, it would only take a very intelligent person emotionally to detect that this person is trying to act some movie here. And so this is also where exhaustive discussion comes in during the courtship phase. Such that when you have an interaction with the person you're looking to get married to, and both of you have put the right things first, not putting the cart before the horse, but the horse before the cart, such that you're asking the right questions, you're getting to know this person exhaustively, and you're not only paying attention to the verbal communication, you're paying attention to the non-verbal communication. Because these days, talk is cheap. Anyone can say anything to try to maybe woo a lady or even win a man's heart. A lot is happening out there. A man can come with that deceptive, face. The woman can come with a deceptive face, because it's a two-way street. Right now, a whole lot is happening out there. So it will take someone who is not only paying attention to what their partner is saying in a relationship, but is paying attention to what the partner also is doing, and the non-verbal communication, to be able to detect that, this person is trying to swindle me, this person is trying to tell me I am compatible with you, when in the real sense of the word, they are just nowhere near compatibility. So this is where being intelligent to detect all of these things come in.
Thank you very much, Joy, for joining us on this conversation. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope when we call you next time, you will answer us again.
It was nice having you on the show this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll be going for this short break and our word on marble. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's still Family and Values. Okay, welcome back. It's the Family and Values, and our Zoom guest is very much on standby. Okay, so we've been talking about compatibility in partnership. Joy,
Yes, so
you know, it's you. Some people will fund and just sit on that table of. Okay.
The truth is, compatibility is something that one has to pay attention to, because it has to do with your everyday life, your everyday activity.
And also see the red flags. They are always there.
No, the truth is the red flags are always there. If you ignore it, you face it later in life. The red flags will always be there. That's the truth about it.
It's time for us to join our Zoom guest. Hello, Adebukola, are you there? Okay, Adebukola, can you hear us?
Good morning, Bukola. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good morning.
Aha, finally, Adebukola.
We got it today.
Is finally here. He's a marriage coach and relationship expert as well. We're so glad to have you finally this morning. So how was your weekend? Hello, Adebukola, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, going great, going great. Thank
Okay,
you. It
so
feels good to finally connect after
yes, after so many weeks of trial, finally excited.
It means this week is going to be bumperly blessing.
Good to see your face.
Joy, you're looking very good.
Thank
I
you.
said so.
Thank you.
Please come and take her away, oh. Please. I need somebody to give her a ticket to US at least, just to go for an holiday. She's just a 1 week holiday. Anyway, we're talking about compatibility in partnership. So Adebukola, what is your own
maybe because you don't know. Maybe because you don't know, Joy is my mentee.
That's so beautiful.
I was coming to that. Anyway.
I'm so glad you can come out to tell us that. But now, how well do you think one needs to go through process of finding out the right person you are compatible with when you're about to start a relationship, or when you are already moving a step higher into a relationship?
Okay, I think the first thing every intending couple or single person needs to know that is that forever is too long. Forever is too long. So if you are taking every other thing for granted in your life, when it comes to settling down, choosing a life partner, you have to be extra sensitive. You have to make sure that no stone is left unturned, because it's the only institution you go in, you get your certificate before going into. So you should go into it with the hope of like the Christendom will say, for God for best. And it brings me back to this issue of compatibility. A lot of people downplay the role of compatibility in marriage, because they just think, don't worry, when I get there, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. But it's never like that. Because in marriage, the first thing you should look out for is to know if you are compatible with this person you want to spend forever with. Because sometimes the beauty along the way, you might get tired of the beauty, you might get tired of companion. The only thing that keeps and sustains marriage at that point can be friendship and how compatible you guys are. So there are some points I usually share with people when it comes to compatibility. And one of them is that before you think of settling down with a life partner, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We're all ears.
Okay. You have to think of shared interests. A lot of people want to go into marriage without finding time or creating time to sit their future partners down and talk about some essentials, some important things, you know. And the number one thing I usually tell people is your shared interest. I wouldn't want to be a businessman that wants to travel the world. You understand? And I'm not looking for a wife that a stay-at-home wife that will take care of the kids. And for women too, I can't think of pursuing a career. I want to be a career woman. And my husband too wants to be a career man. So who will stay with the kids? So sometimes share interest. You have to sit down, talk about the values and ideas you want for the future. That's the number one thing that I usually tell couples. Sit down together before you say I do. Think about your values. What are your values? Because every individual should have values. You should first discover yourself, know your values. And your future partner should complement, you know, your values. It's not somebody that is going against your principles and values. So the number one thing is to sit down and have shared interest. My husband to be, my fiance, my fiance, this and this and these are the things I want to pursue in life. You understand? What are your goals too? What do you want to pursue too? Then you guys can have a mental picture of what you want to pursue in the future. So that's the number one thing. If your ideas and values contradict each other, there is no how you can go into that marriage and you guys can be compatible. So that's the number one thing. Then number two, any relationship you are or you are into, any like if let's not go into marriage now. Let's start with compatibility, trying to go into marriage, and you're not comfortable being yourself. You're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, or you're not comfortable being yourself. I think it's a red flag, because your partner should allow you be yourself, express yourself. It's not that you're this person at home, and when you're meeting your partner, before getting married now, and when you're meeting your partner, you're hiding the best part of you, or you're hiding some part of you. You understand? You have to be yourself when you're with a partner. So that's number two thing. Are you free? Are you free? When you're with that person, are you comfortable with each other? So that's the number two thing I usually show people. Number three, do you share the same vision? You have to share the same vision. You understand? If not exact vision, if not perfect match, it has to be something similar. You know, your vision should complement each other. You know, I want to be a pastor. You know what a pastor's wife do? I want to be a career woman. The man should be able to know how he can fit in to make the woman actually realize our vision in life. So number three thing, you have to share same vision or similar vision. Number two thing, number four, you have to have mutual compromise. Some people will tell you that this is how my father lived his life. Are we together? This is how my father lived his life. This is how my mother lived her life, and that's the model. That's what I want to do with my family too. But most times it doesn't work that way. That generation, you know, it's totally different for what we are doing with our generation. So as husbands, as wives, to be compatible, you have to sometimes compromise. Sometimes you have to shift grounds.
Okay, Bukola, I would like to ask this question. This topic is so dear to you. I've seen the way you're going on and on. But let me ask this. We know that we can be compatible in all areas of life with our spouses. But are there specific areas in life that you would want intending couples to really pay attention to before they walk into marriage? Like, are there certain areas you say, okay, for this particular area, make sure you're compatible with your spouse for this particular area, because it's almost seemingly impossible to be compatible with your partner all through. There are areas that, of course, both of you will have a little differences. But what areas do you think that intending couples should look into before they walk into marriage?
Okay, so me, I cannot overemphasize the role of emotional connection. You have to be connected with your wife emotionally. You understand? So some people will tell you that emotional part, that love part, don't worry. When we get married, as time goes on, you will eventually fall in love with me. How can you intend to marry somebody that you're not emotionally connected? Do you get me? So that's one key area you should look out for, emotional connection. Then going into marriage or in marriage, there's something that is inevitable, and it's conflict. Are we together, Joy? Hello?
Okay, Bukola, I want to also find out, in the area of finding yourself in a marriage that was built on lies, or relationship in that was built on lies before they got married. How do you think, they can survive? Is there any remedy? Can it be saved? Can that marriage be saved? Because you already found yourself inside that water. And thank God you're a Yoruba man. If you can swim, that is when you can swim across. So if you have found yourself in such a relationship and with a partner like that, is it possible for you to rectify? Is there a remedy to save such relationship? In case I don't want to be moving from one place. We are fond of doing that in Africa. So is it possible such a relationship can be saved?
Yeah, my advice is that don't even start it, because if you look in our present day society, the number of divorce rate is on the increase, and if care is not taken, I don't think it's ending anytime soon, because we live in a generation that will tell you that you have to fake it to make it. You understand? So a foundation, a marriage, a relationship that started with lies, when it starts with lies, you have to keep lying to cover up from the last lie.
Till that do us
part. You have to keep lying and lying to each other. You understand? So it's not going to end anytime soon. So it's better you don't even start it at all. It's better you don't even start it at all, because now, everybody. See, I was talking to my wife some days back, just having a conversation, and she just told me that you lie. You just lie a lot too. I told her it's because you don't know, because you're just used to telling truth. Telling the truth. That's why you don't know that a lot of people lie. Lies is becoming a normal thing now in our generation. Everybody lies to keep up, to meet up in the society. So I will advise, if you want to get it right in marriage, don't start with lies. Whenever you're meeting your life partner or your life partner to be, the person can tell him or her everything about you. If he wants to marry you, he will marry you. If he doesn't want to, he won't. You don't build the foundation with lies. You don't end in lies. You understand? And one of the most important things in marriage is trust. Because trust even comes before love. People just say, love, don't worry. When I love him, I'll marry him. Everything will work out. Don't worry. Love is the most important thing. Sometimes in marriage, trust, understanding, loyalty even comes before love. You understand? So when your partner gets to find out that you lie a lot, and you have to lie to cover up those lies, it will get to a time there's nothing you will tell him, even with your actions, with everything you have. There's nothing you will tell that partner that he or she is going to believe you as time goes on. So when it comes to trust and marriage, trust and relationship, please don't overlook it. Stop lying, especially our ladies in this present day society. They lie a lot. Everybody just
the
want
men
to keep up.
too
Everybody want to meet
what's
up.
balance?
Just be yourself.
I think Bukola, the men too.
Be yourself.
Men to lie. In fact, these
all
days
of them
men lie a lot.
Both sex lie.
But I want to ask this question while we round up. Now we are talking about compatibility.
Olori, let me tell you something. Except you meet a man. Okay.
Now we are talking about compatibility in partnership now, and for some people, they feel like yes, I love you, it's not we don't necessarily need to be compatible for us to go into marriage. There are some people that have that mindset. They love you, they want to be with you, but they just feel like we don't need to be compatible. We can just bring our differences. You be on this page, I be on this page, and then we work. So for such people, do you think they're on the right track, or you feel somewhere along the line they will have issues as they go?
Okay. Sort of single ladies have this fantasy about marriage. You know, a lot of them have read so many novels, M and B, love stories, and
Barbara Kaplan.
To get to the time they get married, man will just come back from where you take off his shoes, prepare his bedroom, he takes his bath, having red wine, you know. Those kind of rituals. But in reality, you know, sometimes that man will come back from terrible traffic days and he's so tired and exhausted, and sometimes beauty does not sustain marriage. You understand? Love does not even sustain marriage. Imagine living with somebody for 10 years, 15 years, 16 years of your life. You wake up in the morning every day, you see the same man. You understand? So it's the companionship, that friendship is what sustains marriage at the end of the day. If you don't love a man, or you think the emotional connection is not right enough, or you think you can't get married, it's true. Sometimes there are times you just look at your wife like, man, you're not beautiful today. But I'm tired of saying this ways. You know, it happens in a while. But that friendship is the only solid thing that keeps my going on. That companionship, like, okay, she's my friend. Whether the lost faith, sometimes so the love, the waves go up, sometimes it comes down. You know, it doesn't stay at the same level for a very long time. You know, sometimes your wife is looking very beautiful, and sometimes she's looking very old. You know, before you. So sometimes it's not just love that sustains marriage. So the things you should look out for is friendship. You know, look out for friendship. Be friends with your husband. Be friends with your wife, or your wife to be, your husband to be. Make sure that the friendship, the companionship level is very, very high, and the companionship and friendship is what will sustain the marriage. Not even sometimes wealth, beauty, money sometimes cannot even sustain marriage. I hear a lot of people say, without money, marriage is nothing. Fine, you cannot overrule the role of money in marriages, but most times there are some key factors, you understand, that we should look out for in marriage. You just see, when you hear somebody has been married for 40 years, don't think that it's love that sustained them to that level. Most times it's just friendship that kept them that far.
Okay, I want to say big thank you, but before you go, Adebukola, you wanted to say something when I said it's both the both sex that do lie. It's not just the ladies, both sex lie. So you wanted to make a comment. I wanted you to say that. Then you wrap it up with your final advice on this particular topic for today, compatibility in partnership. Wrap it up with your final advice on this particular topic.
Okay, thank you, Lori. The reason I said that is that I'm a man. Most times, men don't have any reason to lie.
I disagree.
They don't have any reason to lie, because a man will hardly lie to make you a life partner. You understand? So it's not that I'm not trying to be. It's not a gender thing.
Thank God you're laughing.
It's not a gender thing, but men will hardly lie because they want to make you a life partner. Because men have options, so to speak, men have options. You understand? So a man will always tell you the way it is. That is why if a problem is coming from the man in a marriage, you understand? That means that man has really messed up to a reasonable level. Because that man might have started the foundation of his marriage on lies. And women, when you lie to them, you have to keep up, you have to maintain such lies. Like you're not financially poor, you're lying to a woman that you're super rich. So when you get married to that woman, you have to start living your life to impress and maintain that status. Do you understand? So that's why I use that word, that men hardly ever lie to the woman they like. But it's women that tries to form what they are not, so that they can be attractive materially, physically. so that the man can have them as life partner. It's not about gender thing. Oh. Please pardon me.
I'm listening. Your word against all the women. Okay, so your final advice on this topic, compatibility
So
in
lastly,
partnership.
before I leave, I want to say something very, very important. We're talking about compatibility in relationship and marriage. I usually tell people this. Why they should, that's why I don't joke with anything marriage and relationship. Why people out there, couples out there should take it very, very seriously. It's because marriage is an idea from God Almighty. It's a beautiful thing. Understand? And one of the ways we can have a dysfunctional family is when we have high rates of divorce where parents are no longer together. If you notice, there's a huge attack on the marriage system now in our present day society. So that is why I want every couple to take every point important. Marriage is marriage is not fantasy. Marriage is not a show off. Marriage, living with somebody for the rest of your life is not an easy task. You know, so I want everybody to play their role individually. Whether you're the wife, whether you're the woman, whether you're a wife to be, whether you're a husband to be, you should take the institution very seriously because our society starts from the marriage setting. You know, a well-trained individual, you know, is a product, is a direct product of the family. That is why having a man and woman together, raising godly kids, raising responsible citizens starts from the
Very
home.
important.
So please,
from the home.
whenever you come across topics regarding marriage and singles, please don't take it for granted. There's always something to learn. Even people that have gotten married for 20 years, they are still learning. Thank you so much for having me, Joy. Thank you for having me, Olori. I really appreciate
you so much. Adebukola, we really appreciate your being on and connecting with us this morning. Thank you for giving us part of those deep wells of your knowledge this morning. Joy.
Yes, indeed, it was a wonderful one from the first guest we had, Joy Nwokolo, to Bukola. Bukola is so passionate about marriage, and so when he kept talking, I knew where that was really coming from. Somebody I've known from way back. Yes, today has been a very wonderful one with you being our guest on the show. We'll see you tomorrow. My name remains Joy Abu.
And on that note, thank you to everyone in the studio, our crew, our team. Thank you for making it possible for us this morning. To all our viewers, we love you, we appreciate you. Please bring your products, goods and services. Let's make this family and value a more unique program, a show for you. And to every of our Oga, thank you, sir. From Oga Steve Ojo. Thank you so very much for this privilege. On that note, wish you the very best of today. Have a lovely day ahead of you. See you tomorrow on Family and Values. Bye for now.